So we have a channel going on, Bitcoin, very little movement. Most of the price action is actually in the altcoins right now. The altcoins are going nuts. Guess where we're likely going on Ethereum before Ethereum tops out? And the answer is we should go right back here, which is right around the $2,000 level. And that should be where the target of this is. Now, once we get there, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably going to short Ethereum. So that's your target on Ethereum. We're basically looking for a move up to about 2,000. We're currently trading just above 1,900, so we're really close to our upside target on Ethereum.
Expert trader Gareth Soloway, with his 2 decades of experience, suggests that the current Bitcoin market is experiencing a relatively calm period. Most of the significant price movements and actions are taking place in the realm of altcoins. The Federal Reserve has maintained its decision to keep rates unchanged for the 2nd consecutive meeting. Meanwhile, U.S. Treasury bonds are on a downward trajectory, and the decline in Treasury yields has had a negative impact on the U.S. dollar. In the current scenario, cryptocurrencies are starting to show a little bit of life. Cryptocurrency markets are showing signs of a resurgence led by Bitcoin's push beyond the $35,000 mark, and some altcoins are showing great strength. However, there's uncertainty about the sustainability of this rally, with varying opinions among market participants. While some expect it to continue, others anticipate a correction. Altcoins have witnessed a significant surge recently, with their collective market capitalization rising from $575 billion to $615 billion in just a few days, an increase of 7%. This momentum hints at the potential for further growth in the altcoin sector. Soloway shifts his focus to Ethereum, noting the presence of a head and shoulders pattern. He explains that it's a typical pattern for the price to retrace to the neckline following a breakdown. According to his analysis, Ethereum is expected to retrace to approximately the $2,000 level. Ethereum price at crossroads below $1,935 mean threshold represents a make-or-break moment for the largest altcoin by market capitalization. Now, let's shift our focus to a video. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe the channel and click the bell icon for the latest updates.
What's going on here? To be honest, not a lot. Essentially what we have on the crypto chart, on the Bitcoin chart I should be specific, is a channel developing, essentially connecting these lows and then dragging it up here. And what we could see is if we just take that back right there, you essentially have a channel in development right here, okay? So we have a channel going on, Bitcoin, very little movement. Most of the price action is actually in the altcoins right now. The altcoins are going nuts. Now let's switch over to Ethereum. Now Ethereum's actually having a good little move up here. What we can recall is we had a head and shoulders pattern, right? Here's your shoulder, head, shoulder. We broke. But look at what the normal thing is. And this is very normal for head and shoulders. They like to retrace to the scene of the crime. What's the scene of the crime here? It's this neckline trend line, right? So you have this pivot low to this pivot low right to here. We broke down. Guess where we're likely going on Ethereum before Ethereum tops out? And the answer is we should go right back here, which is right around the $2,000 level. And that should be where the target of this is. Now, once we get there, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably going to short Ethereum. Okay, now you might say, oh, Gareth's crazy, Doesn't matter. The point is, I'm going with probabilities. And again, remember, I'm not a long-term trader. I literally am a trader that could be in and out in a day on a trade in Ethereum. Now, obviously, probably in this situation, I'd want to hold it back to this level here, maybe around 1,700 and change. But the point is, again, especially in crypto, it's very prevalent where people get so into their passion projects, their coins, that it's like, man, this is just going to go to the moon. Honestly, that's a detriment. I'm just going to be honest with you. For me, it's about seeing the probabilities and just buying, shorting, back and forth. I'm able to 10x, 100x what normal buy and holders are able to do doing what I do. It's not for everyone, though. It is tricky. There's no doubt about it. You can't have any emotion. Otherwise, you get screwed. Okay, so that's your target on Ethereum. We're basically looking for a move up to about 2,000. We're currently trading just above 1,900, so we're really close to our upside target on Ethereum.
2-year Treasury yields remain steady at 4.876%, marking a 4 basis point increase after a significant 18 basis point drop last week. Meanwhile, the 10-year bond yield in the Eurozone increased by 6 basis points to 2.7% following 7 consecutive sessions of declines. Soloway suggests that the yield is currently making a minor upward move, which is a common pattern. In such situations, a recent decline often results in a slight bounce, particularly when you're close to a support level. This recent dip in Treasury yields has adversely affected the US dollar, resulting in a 0.13% decrease in the dollar index to 104.93, its lowest level since late September. The drop in the dollar and yields helped the king of cryptocurrencies is back as Bitcoin prices rose by over 23% in October, coming close to breaking the $36,000 resistance level.
I gave you this level on the 10-year yield. I said this is where it's going when it pulls back. If we look very clearly, that line is still there from last week. It is right here at this 4.55% level. So now what we see is the yield today is inching back up. That's very standard. That's telling you you had a 3-bar move down. When you get 3 big candles, the chance, especially when you're into support, of getting a small bounce are very normal and very high percentage. So right off the bat, 10-year yield is bouncing. I could see the 10-year yield potentially trading back to these lows, right? So we look at the levels on the chart. We had the resistance at 5% right up here. Then we pulled back. We made that bearish wedge pattern right there. We broke down. Now if we bounce, and we are starting to bounce, you're looking right around 4.8, 4.75 as your target price for a bounce on the 10-year yield. Now another interesting stat, and I always want to bring the probabilities. Remember, these game plans are not about what I feel, what I think, what I hope happens. That's irrelevant. And I hope I translate that to you guys in understanding that it's not, when you're investing, you cannot be going on your gut. Your gut means nothing to the market. And again, you could be like, oh, but my gut's so good, it tells me. No, listen, when it comes to investing, you have to let the charts follow through. You have to let the probabilities follow through. That is going to be your game. Like, think about this. Does the casino, which knows that the odds are always in its favor, say, oh, let's change things up on this one day, on this one game, because we think that we're going to have a really good opportunity to make extra money today? No, when you mess around with probabilities, you screw yourself. It's just the nature of the way things work. All right, so we know that yields have come in here. If we get a little bit of a bounce, what does that imply for the stock market? Quiz. All right, yields bounce. What should the market do? The market should start to pull back a little bit. The dollar, again, is getting close to technical support. I called for this down move as well. We obviously know that this, again, was the pattern that I highlighted with you guys. Sharp move off of resistance. We knew this was a beautiful resistance level. Sideways chop, that's bearish consolidation. Remember your pattern formations. Down move with sideways movement is a bear flag. This, more often than not, leads to that. This angle can be like this. That's okay too. That can also fall.
The Treasury bond market has experienced increased volatility over the year, marked by rapid and fluctuating movements in yields. As Bitcoin establishes itself as a credible alternative, the financial landscape is undergoing a significant transformation. The cryptocurrency market had a positive week, with Bitcoin and Ethereum demonstrating strength around crucial resistance levels. Notably, altcoins had an outstanding week, achieving substantial gains that imply the potential for further growth in the near future. That concludes our conversation for today. What is your stance? Will Ethereum going to follow Bitcoin? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found this content informative, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing for the latest updates. Thank you for being here with us.